The man then asked, and then the Prophet replied, mother. The man asked again, and then again the Prophet said, your mother, and then he said, your father. Just look at the elevated state of woman in Islam. It's beautiful. Let's see. As far as in the, like I said, economic aspects in Islam, where I earn keep money and property before and after marriage, I actually, it's amazing, a couple of our friends who unfortunately have gotten divorces have always told us that if they had gone through a divorce in Islamic Sharia, in Islamic law and rule, they would have gotten so much more out of it than the Western system. Islam gave women the right to earn and keep their own money before, I said this like 5 times now. What I'm trying to say is Islam gave these rights to women at a time where women were considered as basically nothing. They had no status. Girls were buried alive. They had no say in nothing. And the way Islam, the Prophet, elevated the ranks of women is just incredible. Moreover, 1400 years ago, Islam gave women the right to inherit from their relatives, a right which is taken for granted today, but one that was only given to women in such places like England as recently as the 19th century. 1400 years ago, the Prophet gave women the right to vote. I don't want to say something that's not true, but I assume it's been how many years now that the United States has allowed women to vote? Not that many. In the public sphere, many people often assume that Muslim women and men are not supposed to interact. That is where hijab comes into place again. When you have hijab, physically and inside the hijab of your heart, the things you feel, the things you say, what comes out of your mouth, what you're thinking, hijab, these are not all just physical aspects. Then society is ideal in that Muslim men and women should be able to interact on a more dignified level. As far as Muslim women today, again, this goes back to many people feeling that Muslim women are oppressed. When you look at the Muslim countries around the world, women have such amazing positions. Iran's vice president, Massoud Intihar, that's yet to happen in our, here in America, a so-called very feministic region of the world. Sudan, there are many women in parliament. Places such as Sudan, Turkey have even had a woman head of state, and I think that's yet to happen again in the U.S. So keep these things in mind when people tell you that Muslim women are oppressed and have no voice and are uneducated. If you look at the universities in Iraq, engineering students, over 60% are Muslim women, and you look here at the University of Utah, the statistics, engineering, in my engineering classes, women are like 3 or 4 among 60, 30. However, in the Middle East, in the universities in Iran, women are outnumbering by far men in universities. It's just amazing. I keep saying amazing, I know that. Today, Indonesia, the largest Muslim populated country in the world, and Bangladesh are both led by women prime ministers. Then comes the wife-beating verse, and this is often a very touchy subject for Muslims, but for us Muslims it's nothing at all, because the verse comes from Surah number 4, I believe. 1 second, I can find it here. And Muslim women aren't very prepared and functional either. The verse says here, Surah 4, ayah number 34, the so-called wife-beating verse. In Islam, there are stages. They say that men are the protectors of women, and men are the protectors or maintainers of women, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the men more strength than women, because they support them. I can't read my own notes here. So basically what I'm trying to say, because I'm so nervous, is that there are stages when it comes to this verse. A man must, first, let me just read it for you. Husbands are the protectors and maintainers of their wives, because Allah has given them more strength than the other, and because they support them from their means. Therefore, the righteous women are devoutly obedient, yada yada yada. Then it goes down to this, and the husband and to those women on whose part ye fear disloyalty and ill conduct, admonish them first. Next, refuse to share their beds, and then. So these are stages, and then it says here in this Quran, and if you look, there are many different interpretations. It says here in this one, spank them lightly. Now, whenever you're studying the Quran and the ayahs, you have to look respectively to the time frame and when it was sent and the surroundings. For example, this ayah. When you look at like tafsir, the interpretations of the Quran, spanking is not spanking of what we're familiar with today. At the time when this verse was released, was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ, it was tapping with a mithwak. A mithwak is like a toothbrush, a very light toothbrush at that time. So as far as the beating is concerned, this is what the verse entails. And it's not the physical pain, because if you tap me with, where's my pen? I should have brought one of those mithwaks with me. And beat a man with it. I mean, this is what it was, like a tap. You first go through the first two stages. You first confront them, then refuse to share their beds or whatnot, and you have to go deeply into the verse to understand those. But the third one was just a tap, yani like this. This is a tap with a mithwak. There's no physical harm. It's the psychological aspect of it that this verse was. What's the word? This verse was, and then came. So yeah, I can't believe how nervous I am in front of you guys. Does that make sense? I'm totally losing my train of thought. I told you this was going to happen to me. Alright, next. And if you want more information about this, feel free to talk to me afterwards. Hopefully I'll be calm and less stuttering then. And of course there's Women in Islam Day a few weeks from now. Time?
September 24th.
Okay, September 24th. I meant time frame for me. The next time's over. Well, you know what? Muslim women have more rights than that. So there's one poem that I want to read to you. I know I've thoroughly butchered this topic. That I came across many years ago, and it's very, very beautiful. And if you'd like copies of it, please see me afterwards, and I'll be more than happy to make copies for you. It's called A Poem About the Muslim Hijab. What do you see when you look at me? Do you see someone limited or someone free? All some people can do is just look and stare, simply because they can't see my hair. Others think I'm controlled and uneducated. They think that I'm limited and unliberated. They are so thankful that they are not me, because the world would like to remain free. Well, free isn't exactly the word I would have used, describing women who are cheated and abused. They think that I do not have opinions or voice. They think that being hooded isn't my choice. They think that the hood makes me look caged, that my husband or dad are totally outraged. And all they can do is look at me in fear, and in my eye there is a tear, not because I have been stared or made fun of, but because people are ignoring the one up above. On the day of judgment they will be fools, because they were too ashamed to play by their own rules. Maybe the guys won't think I'm a cutie, but at least I'm filled with more inner beauty. See, I have declined from being a guy's toy, because I won't let myself be controlled by a boy. Real men are able to appreciate my mind and aren't busy looking at my behind. Hooded girls are the ones really helping the Muslims. The role that we play definitely deserves applause. Applause. I hope you recognize that I am smart and bright, and because some people are inspired by my sight. The smart one are attracted to my tranquility. In the back of their minds, they wish they were me. We have the strength to do what we think is right, even if it means putting up a lifelong fight. You see, we are not controlled by a miniskirt and tight shirt. We are given only respect and never, ever treated as dirt. You see, we are the ones who are free and liberated. We are not the ones that are sexually terrorized and violated. We are the ones that are free and pure. We are free of STDs that have no cure. So when people ask you how you feel about the hood, just sum it up by saying, baby, all good. And that's how I'm going to sum up today's debunking the myths for women in Islam. And if you'd like more information, please see me after this or come to the program on September 24th. And hopefully they will do better than I did. Thank you very much.